Yo, what's happening? How are we doing? Welcome to show 404. Today we're going to talk about the choices that you make, and the choices that will create you, and the choices that will break you. Let's get on with it. Welcome to the Rise to Thrive show. I am your host, James Boardman, and if you are coming through, then please do let me know. You can do that in two ways. Number one, you can hit the love heart button to let me know that you're just watching. And in the comments directly below, you can either say good morning, you could let me know the best choice that you've made this year as a little bit of a review or reflection exercise. And then you could share this with someone that possibly needs it right now. How are we doing? The sun is looking like it's going to be lush coming up. I'm loving the lighter mornings. There's optimism in the air. Always optimism in the air, right? At this time of year. I just wish it would hurry up and warm up. Because it's fucking freezing still. Anyway, you know, I've been thinking a lot about choices recently. Thinking about choices an awful lot for a lot of people. Like the choices I made in life, the choices I see other people making in life. Ultimately, you are where you are right now based on your choices that you've made so far. You're married to the woman that you are, or divorced to her, because you chose to marry that woman. Or man. You had those kids that you live with and bring up because you chose to have kids, right? You live in the house that you live in because that's the house you chose. Oops. So when we think about mega choice, like who we marry, where we live, the person we end up with, the job or the business that we run, like they're pretty big choices, right? And I think all of those choices that we make at a mega level create the man that lives today, creates the identity, the purpose. And I often think about a lot of choices that I've made throughout my life, like the choice to leave the military, the only sort of life that I really knew, to come home. And I often think to myself, God, imagine if I didn't leave, I'd only have 2 years left of service right now. It's like sliding doors, right? So if I never chose to leave in 2011 and I continued my journey, I would have served 20 years this year in September. I would have done 20 years. So in theory, I'd have 2 years left, leave with a payout and a pension. That's madness, isn't it? But there would be no Alba or Darcy. There would be no Jemima. There would be no online brand. There would be no sitting here looking at the sky. Who knows if I'd even be alive if I'd deployed to Afghan and didn't come home. And you just never know, I think, with choices. And I often think about the story that a lot of people tell themselves on a day-to-day business. So we're going from like mega choice, which is life-changing, which we've just kind of like spoken about, to micro-level choices, internal choices, lifestyle choices. I guess you could call these mid-level, micro-level choices every single day, right? So I put up a post last night. The post was just emphasising a statement I hear an awful lot. It's easier said than done. Easier said than done. So whenever I put anything up and I talk about how to change, or I give tips on how to change, I give direction or vision or confidence or whatever it might be, there's always going to be somebody in one of those comments going, easier said than done. Easier said than done, mate. You know, you don't know what I'm going through. Fucking hell, mate. Like, that there is a choice. The way that they choose to say that and they choose to perceive, like, that state of mind, right? So when someone goes, oh, it's easier said than done, that means they're in a fucking pity party, right? They're a victim of their own misery, of their own choices that they're making. Because it is easier said than done, right? Because, like, listen, if you're in a really shit place, let's say you're 3 stone overweight, let's say you're not connecting with your wife, all right? Let's say you're not connecting with your wife. Let's say you're miserable in your shit job. Okay, let's say you're just in this survival mode, zombie mode, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You have a choice to get out of that. It's not easier said than done. It's just do the fucking work. Like, it is as simple as that. It's setting your alarm for half an hour earlier, getting up, going out for a walk, clearing your head, so it's a little stronger. Do that for a year. Just doing that for a year will help you in some way, shape or form, whether it's perspective, your mindset, understanding yourself. Give it in time for yourself. Okay, but it's a choice. Oh, sorry, but I hope the wind is not affecting the sound. But it is a choice. You can choose to continue to make snidey comments, bullshit excuses, going round in the same cycle of horseshit, or you can make the choice to go, I'm going to get up and do something about this. And that's what some people do. That's what some people do, right? I look at my free programs, free, like literally, I don't ask for any financial input from anyone when I do, like when we used to do our Elite 5-day challenges, when we do our 7-day challenge now. There is no money put on the table. There is this opportunity of 5 days, 7 days, where you can follow a blueprint that has helped thousands and thousands and thousands of guys to stop drinking, to find direction, to gain purpose, to fucking start building a body, all of that, all of the good stuff that we want in life, right? It's all fucking there, like this blueprint. And lads have a choice as to whether, like, they're going to go through it, or whether, you know, they're going to try and go through it, but then along the way, a lot of them make the choice to, oh, I'm just not caught up, or I'm just busy, or just yada, 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 same old fucking bullshit that we're going through, okay? Same old trivial shit that we tell ourselves every single time life gets difficult. And that's the choice that many people make, right? Especially lads, because they're so fucking driven by their ego, so driven by their chimp and their emotions, that they just fall off the wagon. So to give you an example, okay, the last Elite 7 that we did last week was only a small one because it was kind of a spontaneous one. But we had 120 men who made the choice to complete an application form and register themselves to come and take part. 120 men. 12 men took part the whole week. 12 men. Mad, right? Try being me and the frustration that I fucking have trying to get lads. Like, all I want to do is help lads get to the place they want to be. And people think I'm joking when I say 85% don't show up. 85% of guys will convince themselves or choose not to show up. Choose to allow distraction to take them away. Choose to make some bullshit excuse. Oh, it's exhausting. It's exhausting as a fucking coach who literally just wants to help fucking lads out. But that's part of the game, and I've understood that. Like, I've accepted that. Part of this game of running a brand is that not everybody is going to fucking win. Wrong. Millions of blokes are going to die unhappy because they choose not to show up and they choose to allow the fucking negativity of the world and their own mindset to consume them. And that's a sad statistic. It is a fucking sad statistic, you know. And it's really difficult. I nearly made the choice 2 years ago to like closed this whole operation down because I was so frustrated. I haven't told many people that. I was so frustrated at lads not showing up. But then I had that choice, right? I choose to not let the frustration get me and make a choice to look after the lads that come through it and fucking put the effort in and meet me halfway, and that's the choice that we made. Or go and find some fucking shitty corporate job. And there's no way I'm working for someone else, at all. I'd rather make my own raft out of fucking twigs here and see my chances of getting across around the world in the ocean. Do you know what I mean? But I want you to think about choices that you make on a daily basis. You choose to stuff your face with fucking takeaways and be fat. Like, if you want to be fat, dig out. Like, I'm not fucking, like, that's your job. That's your, you know, just don't moan about it. Because no one gives a fuck. No one wants to hear about you fucking moaning that you're fat and you're eating fucking takeaway. Do you know what I mean? Nobody wants to hear about you complaining about your job if you haven't applied for any other jobs. If you haven't done something about it. So when you're going through your life on a day-to-day basis, make the fucking right choices. Think about the choices that you are making. And if you're triggered, fucking good. You should be. But that's a good eye-opener to say that you're one of those fucking people who's making the wrong choices. You've got a choice to be triggered, or you've got a choice to go, right, fuck, he's right, I need to go. And I know I'm right, because I do this day in, day out. And you personally might be offended by it, because a bit of tough love is upsetting you. But it doesn't mean that I'm wrong. That's just your personal point of view that you're offended because I'm so blunt with it. That's the choice I made. Like this morning, I'm going to be a little bit blunt. I'm going to fucking say how it is, and that's the way it is. That's a choice, right? Cool. That's it. That's me done for the morning. I hope you enjoyed that. A little bit of tough love. We all need a bit of tough love. Make the right choice, or fucking suffer the consequences. Do you know what I mean? That's the way it goes.